Hello, my name is Fred Dodson. I'm a success coach, and this presentation is called Letting Go of Alcohol, Cigarettes, and Drugs. I'm going to teach you a few tricks that make it easier for you to let go of substance addiction. My experience is I was addicted to cigarettes for about 30 years, smoked like crazy, and I quit, and I've helped many other people quit. So if it is your true intention to stop, if it's your firm intention, then these few ways of seeing things are going to help you. Okay? What is substance abuse? It's the belief that you can get a better state, a better emotional or mental state through an external substance. It's as simple as that, okay? And it's a big lie. Your state, your overall state, might temporarily improve after you take the substance, but overall it declines and declines and declines. And if you could see the overall movie of your life instead of just the snapshot, you'd know that. You'd understand that. You'd understand that every time you take the drug, every time you smoke the cigarette, every time you have the drink, you're declining. You're affirming the belief that this external thing is your source of good energy. Every time you affirm that, you're teaching that to your brain and nervous system, and it believes that even though it's not true. Okay, it starts believing that, and through the strong belief, it does seem to have that effect, and it does have that effect, to be honest, okay? Otherwise you wouldn't be smoking or drinking or taking drugs. It does have a high-making effect, but at the expense of long-term goodies, long-term clarity, long-term power, long-term strength. If you could get that same high, or an even better high from inside, you'd become more healthy, more strong, more abundant, more in touch with reality. Okay? Now, I'm not talking about the occasional beer, the occasional wine, the occasional cigar. I'm talking about addiction here. There's a difference, okay? You can enjoy an occasional glass of wine or cigar if you're so inclined. So, why don't you, if you're an addicted person, close your eyes for a moment. And remember or imagine how you've been dulling your senses, cutting yourself off from your spirit. Every time you think that something external to your spirit will give you energy. You've been suppressing the emotions of your spirit, those beautiful emotions that you didn't want to feel. You did not want to take the short-term pain for the long-term gain. When you get off of drugs, the short-term pain are these beautiful emotions that you've been suppressing with a drug that you didn't want to feel. They could be emotions of boredom, apathy, anger, rage, frustration, fear, shame, guilt, paranoia. You see, because you had those emotions, you took a substance to cover them up. But they're still there. I'd like you to imagine they're still there. And that's the truth. They are still there. And the moment you stop taking the drug, all that pain might come back. And if it doesn't come back, what's going to come is withdrawal symptoms, which is a different type of pain. And that's like having the flu. You stop with alcohol or with cigarettes or nicotine or meth or heroin or cocaine or whatever it is, and it feels like having the flu for a couple of weeks. Can you take a couple of weeks of pain? I'm asking you, can you take the pain for a couple of weeks? Are you willing to go through the pain for long-term gain? And are you willing to imagine the benefit, the advantage of doing that? Are you willing right now to imagine the clarity you'll have, the peace inside? The strength, the boundless creativity that a clear mind has, a mind free of drugs. You see, once the advantages appear much, 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 much higher, you'll get off the drugs. You just don't know that yet. You don't know how much better it is because you remember a time in which you were not taking drugs or drinking, you were not alcoholic, and that time was depressing. So your brain says, or your subconscious says, well, what's the point of stopping with drugs? Life is not much better. I know it, I experience it, it's not much better. If I stop taking these drugs, it's not going to get that much better, I'll be depressed. Okay, but that's the lie you're telling yourself. If you stop taking it, yes, these negative states may return, but you got to process them. You got to go through those emotions. You got to let them come out without resistance, and you'll get better in time, much better. It's kind of nonsensical to keep suppressing these emotions. Through taking drugs, you don't allow them to process. Imagine that. You've lost all ability to generate positive states through yourself. That's how far away from Source you are. You actually believe that if you suck on that cigarette, you're going to feel that relief and that clarity that your soul really is in its most natural state. You see, you get that clarity through silence, beingness, and presence. So if you were to sit in nature for a couple of hours, or at the beach, or meditate in your home, you get a much higher state. That negative state that you had, that you're covering up with drugs, it comes from resistance, resisting feeling. It comes from being too much in the head, too much into doing and thinking and analyzing instead of just breathing, sitting, being, and shutting up. So if you want to stop with drugs, make the firm intention and get very, very clear about the advantages of stopping and the disadvantages of continuing. Because right now, it's the other way around. You feel and experience and see the advantage of the drug. Okay? You think it makes you clear or strong or relaxed or whatever. And you see the disadvantages of stopping with it. It'll make you depressed, boring, dull. You got to turn that around, otherwise you're never going to stop. And you're just going to keep on slowly, slowly declining. You're going to feel less and less. Your life is going to become smaller and smaller. You got to know that. You got to be able to imagine the utter clarity, health, energy, joy, and power that you'll feel and have when you're free. If you require assistance, I'm available for coaching. Check out my website, realitycreation.org. My name is Fred Dodson.